bits and pieces like let's get rid of that. Let's have something like this.
Cool. All right, Mark. Following on from the previous audio we had before about the wine dinner that you had.
Yes.
Give me a little bit of a more in-depth intro into the wines that you've actually featured.
Yes, indeed. So, Gary, we've got the wines here, the 6 wines that we featured from Perlaki, starting here with the sparkling wine, non-vintage, coming from Piemonte, but also an extra brut. It's because it's non-champenois, we have to call it something else, of course. Method tradizionale classico, traditional method to you and me, which means secondary fermentation in bottle. Non-vintage, it is primarily Pinot Noir. There's a touch of Nebbiolo in there as well, Gary. As you see, it's all free run juice, it's all clear, there's no skin contact here. And so we had this as a welcome wine for this particular dinner, the Perlaki dinner. And right here in the snug we had this, and in the cellar. Then the Riesling here, we had this with the starter dish, pancetta wrapped monkfish. So slightly off dry, but quite the acidity quite in tone, but also not too racy really and truly. If we think of the classical Alsatian, Clare Valley, Germanic wines, but nicely toned, beautiful Langy Riesling coming from Piemonte there. We had a duo here of red wines for main course. Okay, the Grand Crus of Piemonte. So it's what some people call the king of grapes, the king of wines, Nebbiolo. The Barbaresco here, the Roncagli, and the Barolo Busia. Okay, both on the same vintage here as well, Gary. And these are really and truly the flagship wines of Perlaki. So respectively, the Barolo right here, the Busia, a lot more masculine in style, really, a lot of tenacity, really something to get your good teeth into. It needs something to challenge it, really and truly, cuisine wise. The Barbaresco, a lot more feminine charm, really and truly, a lot softer tone, a lot more open and expressive. We had this with the Goosenard duck. Okay, so relatively locally reared there in Lancashire, and quality conscious producer, but it needs a wine that's going to be of an equal quality. These are benchmark wines and very much the flagship of Piemonte. We're looking at the Barolo. This was the talking piece here as well. The Barbaresco, i.e., it was what people felt was drinking at its best, at its optimum. It's got a tremendous age, and of course it's only a 2006, but we're looking at a wine that was a cracking match for the Goosenard duck. The Barolo, I think if we had a hog roast or a wild boar, perhaps char grilled, and it would have been something for a wine of that grip and of that tenacity to get it needed something to fight against, really and truly, I felt. But nevertheless, a cracking duo there for main course. The Bricco del Drago, a reference to the vineyard itself, the Drago there, the dragon. Also on a similar vintage, but it's a lot softer toned here. We're looking at Dolcetto, 90% Dolcetto and a touch of Nebbiolo there, the Souchon and Nebbiolo. So a lot more rounded, a lot more open. And with this wine we had 3 cheeses, 2 Italian cheeses, one which was truffled, so a reference to Piemonte for itself and its truffle production, and also a Veneto free milk cheese. So actually coming from Venice, that worked tremendously well with those cheeses. There's a bit of a curiosity here as well, Gary, which is called Bonme Vino Aromatico. It's Moscato grapes, sugar, and alcohol spirit, and herbs to boot, absinthe herb, and what we call wormwood. And so technically it's not a wine because it's not fermented. So it is the Moscato grape as a base, then that's added grape sugar and grape spirit, and so then that is then aged, etc. Non-vintage. It's tremendous with dark chocolate. It's a beautifully aromatic dessert wine / non-wine. Okay, it's a bit of a curiosity. It's also a winning and slightly secret family recipe. Yes.
Excellent. Tell me a bit about the region.
The region Piemonte, there's two things that we know it for. A, it's white truffles. Okay, they're coming into abundance in autumn. The thing with white truffles is people find them. They are found. They're sold on the market. They fetch tremendous prices. You will if you ask a truffle hunter whether they found any truffles, the answer is unanimously the same. They found no truffles. Okay, they're entering the market anonymously. They're also renowned for the other thing, and there's a lot of people out there that go for it. Is the hazelnuts and the heartland of Nutella. So there's a lot of it's a wonderfully abundant forests, beautiful forests there, beautiful hillsides as well. You find in some vineyards very dramatic hillsides as well. Some of them rising up to 800 meters, so really getting quite high there. Nebbiolo won't grow that high, but because similar to Pinot Noir, it needs a lot of care and attention. But yeah, some very dramatic and beautiful winelands. Yes.
Excellent. Thanks very much, Mark.
Thank you.